So thinking of ditching that 9 to 5, becoming your own W-1 boss, and maybe joining the exciting world of consulting. It's a big leap. And you've given us a ton of material about Cansulta's new Canpus platform, specifically their C3 program, to help people, just like you.
Yeah, we've got everything from YouTube videos, course descriptions, even what looks like their internal messaging Bible. It's a lot to unpack.
It is, but that's what we're here for. You want to know if this program can actually deliver on its promise of turning you into a certified consultant in just 60 days. We're going to break it all down for you and help you figure out if this is the right path to making those consulting dreams a reality.
Yeah. Before we get into the, the nitty-gritty of the C3 program itself, I think it's important to understand the context. Cansulta's, always been known as this global e-consulting platform, connecting businesses with experts. But launching Canpus, it's a really interesting move.
It's like they're not just connecting consultants anymore, they're actually creating them.
Exactly. And this shift suggests they see a major gap in the market. Tons of people out there with incredible expertise, but they lack the business framework. To actually monetize that knowledge, C3 seems to be Cansulta's answer to that problem.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about the C3 program itself. Cansulta Certified Consultant. They even have a catchy name for it. It's their flagship offering, and they promise to make you a consulting pro in just 60 days.
60 days is a bold promise, but it's clear they've put a lot of thought into the structure. The program's broken down into 3 phases: plan, build and launch, and grow. A very logical progression, from initial idea all the way to running a fully operational consulting business.
And within those 3 phases, they have 9 modules, each focusing on a specific skill. We'll dig into some of the more interesting ones later on, but they cover everything, from nailing your niche to building an impressive online presence.
A lot of aspiring consultants I've spoken to get overwhelmed simply because they don't know where to start. C3 seems to provide that crucial framework, so you're not just wandering aimlessly in the consulting world.
We even got some insights straight from the founder, Alexandra Capellos-Peters. In one of the videos, she emphasizes that this program is for people who have expertise and are ready to invest the time, resources, and most importantly, the commitment.
That's a really crucial point. A lot of online courses promise the world, but don't actually deliver. It seems like C3 is designed to weed out those who aren't serious about making this a real career change.
It's almost like they're saying, look, you're just dipping your toes in the water. This isn't for you. This is for people who are ready to dive in head first.
I find that refreshing, frankly. There's so much fluff out there. It's good to see a program that's upfront about the level of dedication required.
Absolutely. So assuming you are that dedicated individual, what does the C3 program actually do to help you make that transformation? What are the key details that make this program stand out?
Well, one thing that immediately caught my eye is the live group coaching. It's not just pre-recorded lectures. You're actually getting direct access to seasoned professionals.
That's a huge difference. Being able to ask questions and get personalized advice in real time can be incredibly valuable.
They also have the Canpus community, which allows you to connect with other people going through the program. That kind of built-in support system can be so important, especially when you're, making a major career shift like this.
It can get lonely working for yourself, so
Yeah.
having that sense of community can make all the difference. Plus, everyone knows how important networking is in the consulting world. This seems like a great way to start building those connections right from the get-go.
What I really appreciate is that they provide cheat sheets, actionable takeaways for each module. It's perfect for, someone like you who wants to actually implement what they're learning, not just passively absorb information.
I'm all about practical application. That's how you actually make progress. Plus, you get extended access to the content, 6 months for the full program, and 3 months for individual phases. That flexibility is great because everyone learns at their own pace.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it seems Canpus is trying to address those often overlooked aspects of becoming a consultant. It's not just about the knowledge itself, but about the practical skills, the community support, and the ongoing resources needed to actually succeed in this field.
They seem to understand that building a thriving consulting business is about more than just ticking boxes on a course syllabus.
Now, all of this makes the program sound pretty comprehensive, but I'm sure you're curious about what's inside those modules themselves.
Let's peek behind the curtain, shall we? A few of them really stood out to me, just based on their names. Consulting Conception Code, for example. It sounds like we're about to crack some secret spy code.
It does have a certain intrigue to it, but in reality, this module helps you define your niche, your ideal client, and your unique value proposition. It's all about figuring out what makes you stand out in the crowded consulting landscape.
It sounds like they're taking a very strategic approach to helping you build a solid foundation for your consulting business. And then there's digital dominance, which I know is absolutely essential these days. It's all about building your online platform, your website, your social media presence, everything you need to attract clients in the digital age.
You could be the most brilliant consultant in the world, but if nobody can find you online, it doesn't matter. This module seems to cover all the bases, from building a professional website to crafting content that actually attracts your ideal clients.
And then there's operational orbit, which
Yeah.
focuses on the nitty-gritty of actually running your consulting business once you're up and running. Things like managing your finances, creating streamlined workflows, and ensuring client satisfaction.
It's one thing to have a great idea for a consulting business, but it's another thing entirely to actually keep that business running smoothly and efficiently. This module seems to be all about giving you the systems and strategies you need to stay organized and avoid burnout.
I'm a big believer in having systems in place, especially when you're working for yourself. It's so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day chaos if you don't have a clear plan.
So looking at these modules, it seems like C3 offers a good balance between strategy and personality. The names are catchy and memorable, and it definitely doesn't feel like a dry academic course.
Which is a good thing. In my book, learning should be engaging, especially when you're making a big life change like this.
And speaking of ongoing learning, they also have the Canpus Online community, which is hosted on a platform called Blockversity. It's a subscription-based community where learners can continue to connect with experts and access additional resources.
So the learning doesn't end. When you finish the C3 program, it sounds like they're trying to build a real community around campus.
It costs $25 a month, and it includes things like live expert webinars, Q&A sessions, a resource library, and even consulting project postings.
So even if you're not ready to commit to the full C3 program, you could still join the Campus Online community and get a taste of what they're all about.
That's a great point. It could be a good way to test the waters and see if this whole campus approach resonates with you.
Speaking of testing the waters, let's talk about the C3 investment options. They offer the full program, which is currently 50% off for the first 10 people to register. That brings the price down to $2,499.
That's a significant discount. And for those who might not be ready to commit to the full program, they also offer individual phases, each priced at $1,998, also currently discounted.
So there are options for different budgets and levels of commitment. I'm wondering if starting with one phase could be a good test drive to see if the C3 program is the right fit.
That's a really interesting idea. It could be a lower risk way to dip your toes into the consulting waters and see if Campus's approach resonates with you.
We've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about Cansulta Campus, the C3 program, the modules, the support system, the community, and even the investment options. But before we get ahead of ourselves,
We need to bring it all back to you, the listener. What does this all mean for you and your consulting aspirations?
exactly. If you're an expert with an entrepreneurial itch, Cansulta's C3 program could be the launchpad you've been looking for. We've seen the structure, the modules, the community, and the support they offer.
Yeah.
But
The biggest question is, are you ready to put in the work?
consulting success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right guidance and dedication.
This program might just equip you to build that thriving business you've been dreaming of.
Okay, so we've laid out the framework of the C3 program, but let's zoom in on those intriguing module names. I mean, consulting conception code and digital dominance. They really pique your curiosity, don't they?
They do. It's smart marketing for sure, but it also speaks to a larger point. For you, the listener, these modules seem designed to give you both the tangible tools and the right mindset to stand out in the consulting world. They want you to be a consultant. Clients are excited to hire, not just another name on a list.
Right.
Right.
Let's break down a few of these modules and see how they actually aim to achieve that. Consulting conception code. We touched on it briefly, but what's really interesting to ME is how it forces you to define your niche. So many aspiring consultants struggle with that, trying to be everything to everyone.
It's a common trap, and this module seems to address it head on. It pushes you to ask those tough questions. What are you truly passionate about? What problems can you solve better than anyone else? And who is your ideal client? Once you have those answers, you can start crafting a unique value proposition.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Figuring out that one thing you offer that nobody else can. That's your competitive edge.
Precisely. And that becomes the bedrock of your consulting business. It's what sets you apart in a crowded marketplace. It's what clients are willing to pay a premium for.
And then you have Targeting Triumphs, which dives deep into identifying and attracting those ideal clients. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Absolutely. And this module seems to go beyond generic marketing advice. They provide specific frameworks and strategies for turning your practice into what they call a client magnet.
I love that. It speaks to a real pain point. For a lot of consultants, they know they need to get out there and network.
Yeah.
But they're not sure how to do it effectively.
This module seems to provide a roadmap. It teaches you how to identify high-value clients, how to connect with them, and how to nurture those relationships over time.
Then, of course, there's digital dominance. In today's world, you simply cannot afford to ignore your online presence.
And this module seems to cover all the essentials. Building a professional website, leveraging social media platforms, creating compelling content. It's about creating a digital footprint that works for you 24/7.
But it's not just about having a website or posting on social media. It's about crafting a cohesive online experience that truly reflects your brand, your expertise, and your unique value proposition. You want potential clients to land on your website or see your social media posts and think, this is the consultant for me.
It's about establishing yourself as a thought leader in your niche, using your online presence to attract your ideal client.
Now, Operational Orbit might not sound as glamorous as some of the other modules, but it's arguably one of the most important. This is where you learn how to actually run a successful consulting business behind the scenes.
Right. This module delves into the practicalities, managing finances, streamlining workflows, ensuring client satisfaction. These are the things that can make or break your business in the long run.
It's all about building a solid foundation so you can scale your business and avoid burnout. I've seen so many talented consultants struggle because they don't have these operational systems in place. They get caught up in the day-to-day chaos and lose sight of the bigger picture.
This module seems to be designed to prevent that. It equips you with the tools and strategies to create a business that runs smoothly, even when you're, juggling multiple clients and projects.
Now, I have to admit, when I first saw that 60-day timeline, I was a bit skeptical. It does seem like a lot to cover in such a short period of time.
I had the same thought. But remember, they offer extended content access. You can revisit the modules, the cheat sheets, and the community resources for up to 6 months after the program ends.
That's reassuring. It's not about cramming everything into 60 days. It's about building a solid foundation and then having the support and resources to continue learning and growing at your own pace.
Right. And that's crucial because the consulting world is constantly evolving. You need to be able to adapt, to learn new skills, and to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So it's not just about what you learn during those 60 days. It's about developing a mindset of continuous learning and improvement.
So we've talked about the structure of the program, the modules, and the extended support. But let's dig into the content itself. What are they actually teaching that's so special?
One thing that really stands out to me is their emphasis on practical application. They don't just tell you what to do, they actually show you how to do it.
And not just in theory. They use real-world examples, case studies, and templates, things you can actually implement in your own business right away. That's what makes the difference between passive learning and actually building a successful consulting practice.
They also seem to understand that mindset is just as important as skill set. A lot of people have the technical expertise to be successful consultants, but they lack the confidence, the self-belief. That's something they address head-on in the C3 program.
From what I've seen, they teach you how to overcome self-doubt, how to position yourself as an expert, and how to command premium prices. These are essential skills for any consultant who wants to build a thriving business.
It's refreshing to see a program that acknowledges the psychological aspects of building a successful consulting business. It's not just about the tactics and strategies. It's about developing the right mindset to succeed in a challenging and competitive field.
Speaking of expertise, let's talk about the instructors. Who are the people behind this program, and what are their credentials?
Well, the lead instructor for the first C3 cohort is Alexandra Capellos-Peters, the founder and CEO of Cansulta. And she's not just a figurehead, she's a seasoned consultant with years of experience building successful businesses.
That's a key point. She's not just teaching from a textbook. She's drawing on her own real-world experience. And she's also hired and mentored countless other consultants, so she knows what it takes to succeed in this field.
And she's not the only one. The C3 program features guest speakers and coaches who are experts in their respective fields, so you're getting a wide range of insights and perspectives.
That's important. You're not just learning from one person's point of view. You're getting exposure to different approaches and strategies.
Exactly. So you're getting a well-rounded education in all aspects of building a thriving consulting business. But of course, the big question is, does it actually work? Do people who go through the C3 program actually achieve success?
Well, they do have a number of testimonials from past participants who have launched and grown their own consulting practices. And these aren't just vague endorsements. They share specific stories about how the program helped them overcome challenges, land clients, and reach their financial goals.
It's encouraging to see those real-world success stories, but it's also important to remember that results will always vary. The C3 program provides the tools and guidance, but ultimately it's up to each individual to put in the work and make it happen.
And that's a point they emphasize throughout the program. They're not promising overnight success or a magic formula. They're saying, if you're willing to put in the effort, this program will give you everything you need to succeed.
And I appreciate that honesty. There's so much hype out there about get-rich-quick schemes and unrealistic promises. It's refreshing to see a program that's upfront about the hard work involved in building a successful business.
Because that's the reality. There are no shortcuts. But with the right guidance and the right mindset, you can achieve those consulting dreams.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about Cansulta, Canpus, the C3 program, the modules, the support system, the instructors, and even the results.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to discuss, and that's the community aspect.
Right, the Canpus online community. Remember, for $25 a month, you get access to even more resources, expert insights, and networking opportunities.
And this community isn't just an afterthought. It seems to be a core part of the Canpus experience. It's where you can connect with fellow learners, share your struggles, celebrate your wins, and build relationships that can last a lifetime. And it's not just limited to people in the C3 program. The Canpus online community is open to all aspiring and established consultants.
So even if you're not ready to commit to the full C3 program, you can still tap into the collective wisdom and support of this community.
It's like they've created a platform that's more than just a course, you know? It's a movement. It's a space where people who are passionate about consulting can come together to learn, grow, and support each other.
That's powerful. And honestly, it addresses one of the biggest challenges of going freelance, that feeling of isolation. It's easy to get lost in your own little world when you're working for yourself.
Having that network of peers can be invaluable for motivation, inspiration, and even accountability.
So we've explored Cansulta Canpus and their C3 program in detail, but the million-dollar question is it right for you?
That's the crux of it, isn't it? And unfortunately, there's no easy answer. It really depends on your individual goals, your experience, and your level of commitment.
Let's break it down. Who should seriously consider this program?
First and foremost, you need to be an expert in something. It could be finance, marketing, technology, healthcare, anything really. But you need to have that deep knowledge and experience that you can package and sell as a consultant.
But it's not enough to just be an expert. You need to be passionate about sharing your knowledge and helping others solve their problems.
Absolutely. Consulting is all about understanding your client's needs, building relationships, and delivering solutions that make a real impact. If you're not excited about that aspect of it, consulting might not be the right fit for you.
You also need to be comfortable with the entrepreneurial lifestyle. That means setting your own hours, managing your own finances, and being responsible for your own success.
That's a big one. And let's be honest, it's not always easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt.
Those are inevitable. But if you're truly committed to building a thriving consulting business, you'll find a way to push through those challenges.
And that's where a program like C3 can be so valuable. It provides the structure, the support, and the accountability you need to stay on track and achieve your goals.
So if you're an expert with an entrepreneurial spirit, a passion for helping others, and the willingness to put in the work, the C3 program could be the perfect launch pad for your consulting career.
But even if you decide that C3 isn't the right fit for you right now, there's still a lot you can take away from this deep dive.
Absolutely. What stands out to you as the most valuable takeaway?
For me, it's the emphasis on finding your niche and crafting a unique value proposition. It's so easy to get lost in the noise if you're not clear about what you offer and who you serve.
And the other big takeaway for me is the power of community, whether you join the Canpus online community or find another group of like-minded individuals. Surrounding yourself with supportive people who understand the challenges and rewards of consulting can make all the difference.
I couldn't agree more. Having that network can be a game changer. So if you're feeling inspired to explore the world of consulting, I encourage you to do your research, connect with other consultants, and most importantly, take action.
Because the only way to achieve those consulting dreams is to start building them one step at a time.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your success story right here on The Deep Dive.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of consulting. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.